Hello and welcome to Learn Data. It's great to have you on this channel. I'm Nilesh, and in this video we'll continue to learn about offsets in Pandas. So for pd.offsets, in previous video we looked at a couple of functionalities. In this video we'll look at the items highlighted here in blue, such as custom business day, week of month, month end, business quarters, and then business hour, custom business hour, day and minute. So let's get into Jupyter notebook and start coding. Here I've already created a new notebook and imported three libraries: NumPy, Pandas, and datetime. The first item that we'll look at today is how to use parameter offsets. So for example, in week of month, etc. So parameter offsets, and we'll go ahead and create a new timestamp. So x is equal to pd.timestamp, and this is 2020-07-20 10 20 30.001 001 001, and then we'll print this. Okay, so here we can go, let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and print x underscore day, x dot day underscore name, and then have the x. So we are looking at a Monday, which is the 20th, and let's pull the calendar as well. So the 20th would be this right here, so it's a Monday. Now first item that we'll look at is the week, and how do we use it with the offset. So y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.week, and what this will do is it will add 1 week to this particular timestamp. So 20th is right here, so when we add 1 week we should get output of 27. So essentially we are adding 7 days, so that's what we get. The output is 27. And again, if we check the day, so y dot day underscore name, we see that it's Monday. So we have added 1 week right here. Another way we can change this is by specifying the weekday. So if there is specific weekday, we need to move the timestamp to. That can also be done. So pd.offsets.week, and here within parentheses we can specify weekday. So if we specify weekday as 5, what that does is it will put the output day to Saturday. And the reason why 5 is Saturday is because 0 is always, so 0 is Monday, then we have 1 is Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So when we look at 5, it's Saturday, and when we run this part we get the date, which was on a Monday 27th, is moved to 25th, which is Saturday. Sorry, we moved the day which was 20th, and it is moved now to Saturday, which is 25th. So if we go back to this calendar, this is where we were, 20th, and the date is now moved to 25th when we specified weekday as 5. Now let's look at a similar functionality, which is called week of month. So week of month, and here we can specify both the week as well as the day of a specific month. So again we'll use the same timestamp. Now if you specify y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.week, we know that the output that we get is 27th. So we are essentially going to the next week. However, here if we go ahead and change something, so if we use the week of month, y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.weekofMonth with capital W, O and capital M. Here we specify the week of the month, so let's say the first week of a month, and then weekday is, let's say, 5. So what we are telling here is we need to move the timestamp, which is on the July 20th, to the first week of next month, so first week of August, and the day has to be a Saturday. So in this calendar, let's see, the next month is August, so this grayed out part is the August, and the Saturday for August is 8th. So the day that we should get is 8/8. So August 8 is the day we get. So that's how we can use the week of month. Now for week of month, we can also normalize. So the X timestamp that we have right here has hours, minutes and seconds as well. So when we use it without normalizing, for example, when we add a week, let's say, we get the hours, minutes and seconds also in the output. But now we'll try to normalize it. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. In this particular parenthesis here, we can specify normalize is equal to true. So what happens is, after the day is moved to the first Saturday of next month, the hours, minutes and seconds are changed to 0 midnight. So that's how the normalize works when we are using it with week of the month. And here we can also again check the day, so y.day underscore name, and it's a Saturday, as we know. So that's one way in which we can change the week in a particular timestamp. Now let's look at how we can work with a series or a data frame. So series, and how that can be changed. So series or a data frame. And here we'll use the pd.date range. So for that we need the timestamp. So I'm going to go ahead and create a timestamp right here, pd.timestamp, and the days, let's keep the month of July 0710, and let's put 01 hours, 02 and 03. And for the end date, I'm going to use pd.timestamp, and here we have 2020-07-20, and again the same 01, 02, 03. So now we are ready to create the variable X, which is pd.date underscore range start to end, and frequency is equal to 1 day. Now when we create this, we'll get a range of dates from here, which goes from 10 to 20, and as we can see, 10, 11, 12 all the way up to 20. Now if we are working with a series like this and we want to change the month, so let's see, month end. What we want to do here is move the dates to the end of the month. So this is the 10th of July, so we want to move that to the end of the month, which is 31st of July, and that would be for all the dates. So let's see how that can be done. So y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.monthEnd, and if we type y, so add some spaces there, y, here we can see that we moved all the timestamps to the end of the month. Now in addition to this, we can also use date offset to specify how many months we want to move this to. So let's say y is equal to x plus pd.DateOffsets with a capital D and O. Here we specify months is equal to 2, and then look at this. What we have done here is from July, now we have moved to August, September, so all the dates now have 09 in them. So that's another way we can change the month of timestamps in a series. Apart from this, we can also change days. So for changing the days, we could type y is equal to x plus pd.offsets, and here dot day 5. So what that will do is move the days by 5. So we have the days for the first time stamp is 10th, July 10th. So now it is July 15th. So on and so forth. So this one is 20th of July, and we now have the date changed to 25th of July. So that's how we can change the day in a timestamp. Let's now look at how we can change the minutes. The method is the same. Y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.minute, and here let's say if you want to change it by 10 minutes, then as you can, let's go back and look at what our x looks like. So x, we have minutes, which is 2 minutes for all the timestamps. Now all the timestamps have 12 as minutes. So that's how we can change the minute in a timestamp within a series. Next, let's look at how we can change the business quarter, change to business quarter end. So business quarter end, and let's add another hash there. Okay, so y is equal to x plus pd.offsets.BQuarterEnd. So capital B, capital Q, capital E. And when we run this, what we are doing now is moving the dates. So the x, let's pull x right here. So we were in the month of July. So first quarter would be January, February, March. Second quarter would be April, May, June, and the third quarter would be July, August, September. So we start in July, and the end of the quarter would be the end of September, which is right here, 30th of September. So that's how we can move all the dates to the end of that business quarter. Now there is also provision where we can create custom business days, and to use this, let's see how we can work with that. We first need to create a week mask. So week mask is equal to, let's say if we are looking at a data set where the company, the working hours for a particular team is only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then holidays for that particular company, let's say for this week was 17th. So this is the holiday, and we need to incorporate that in the timestamps. So how do we do that? For this, we can use pd.offsets.CustomBusinessDay, and here within parentheses we can specify week mask is equal to week mask, and then holidays is equal to holidays. And when we can add this, so this is the business day, and then we can add this to the timestamp we have x, and let's output that in the variable y. So when we look at this, here we can see that I'm going to pull the x again. Here we can see that our original day was 10th of July, so that was a Friday, and from Friday what we have now moved to is 13th, which is 10th we have moved to the next working day, which is a Monday, and that is good. So Saturday, Sunday is holiday, so next business day would be 13th. However, if we look at other days such as, let's say, 15th or 16th, so let's see, we have 16th. Okay, so we have 16th. Now 16th is a Thursday. Although Friday is technically, Thursday and Friday are technically a working day, weekday, in this case we only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as weekdays, and therefore 16th would be a holiday. Even 17th would be a holiday. So all those 16th, 17th, those would be moved to the next coming weekday or Monday. So those would be moved to 20th. And if we go back and look up, so all these dates, as you can see, have been changed to the 20th. And for the last day, which is 20th, which is right here, that is moved to the next business day, which is the 21st, and that's what we have here. So that's a way in which we can create a custom business days and change the timestamps based on that. Now let's move on to another variation of this, where we can change business hours. So business hour, and to change the business hour, we can use the same timestamps that we have in X. Let's try the example. Y is equal to X plus pd.offsets dot business hour, and look at Y. So the way this works is, first this will check if the particular timestamp is within the specified business hours, and the business hours in this case default are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So morning 9 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock, 17. And as we can see here, if the time is not within business hours, first it is brought to the start of the business hour and then incremented by 1. So in this case, 01 hours, that is not in business hours, so it is then brought to 9 and then 1 is added, and therefore we get 10. Same thing for all other cases. Next, let's look at -1. So if we have Y is equal to X plus pd.offsets.business_hour, and if we specify -1, then again let me pull X. So here what we can see is this particular time is not within the business hour, and therefore first it is moved back to the previous business day, end of previous business day, and then 1 is subtracted from it. So the previous business day would be 9 and the time would be end of day, that is 1700 hours, and therefore -1 from that we get 16, and that's what we have here. Now you're probably wondering what happens if it's a weekend. Now, so let's see, if we are on 13th, so let's pick a date of 13, which is this one. Now if we roll back from 13, we'll have to go far back to Friday, which is 10th. So it will be 17th on the 1700 hours on a Friday, the 10th. So if we look back here, we see that the time moved back to the 10th and 5 o'clock on the 10th, and then 1 was subtracted from that, and so we have 4 o'clock right here in the evening. Now let's look at custom business hours. So for custom business hour, here we can specify the start and end time. So Y is equal to X plus pd.offsets.business_hour, and we can specify start. Let's this time pick 8:30 in the morning, let's say the shift starts at 8:30 and the end time would be, let's say we go back, work overtime and go back, leave the office late at 1900 hours. Now when we look at y, we get this output, and let's compare it with x. So the first day is 10th is a Friday, and the time of 1 is outside the business hours that we have mentioned. So what this will do is it will move to that particular business hour. So this is night, so it moves to the early morning 8:30 and then adds 1 to it, and therefore we have 9:30 here. However, if we are on a weekend, so let's say 11th, which is right here, now the next business opening is on Monday, and Monday, as you can see, is on the 13th right here. So this would move to 13th, as we can see here, and then the clock would move to 8:30 on that Monday, and then 1 is added. So that's why we have 9:30 right here, and so on and so forth for all other cases. Next, let's see what happens if we subtract from the timestamp. So instead of plus, if we use minus. Now in this case, again, if we are looking at the 10th of Friday, that is the Friday, this time is not within the working business hours. So the clock is moved back to the previous day, and we are now looking at 1900 hours, which is the end time for that particular business day, and then we are subtracting 1 from that. So we move back to the 9th, and then from 19 we subtracted 1, so we have 1800 hours. So that's 6 o'clock in the evening. Similarly, if we are on, say, 13th, so let's find 13th here. So this is 13th. Now from 13th we would have to go back to previous Friday, and previous Friday again is the 10th, so we skip these 2 days, and then on the 10th we go to the end of the day, which is 1900 hours, and that is 7 o'clock, and then subtract 1 from that, so we get 1800 hours. So that's 6 o'clock, and that's how this is calculated right here. There is an alternative way in which you can write this. So let me pull this. Now instead of putting this in quotes, you could also type datetime.time and then specify 19 and then specify 0. So this would work the same way, except the writing convention is different in that case. Now before we end this video, let's look at one more example where we want the business hours to be on from, let's say, a night shift. So pd.offsets.BusinessHour, and let's start the work shift at 2200 hours, and then end the shift at morning 7 o'clock. So that's those are the working hours. So this should be is equal to, and now if we compare with our original timestamps x, here the first one, it's a Friday, and we are at 100 hours. Now this time point is within the business hours that we have specified, so therefore there is no shifting to the next day or previous day. Here we are simply adding 1 hour because we are within that business range day, a business hour range that we have specified. The bottom line is that for business hours, first what the code will do is it will check if the given hours are within the specified business day range, and if they are, then 1 would be added. If they are not, then it will be moved to the start of that business day or end of business day as specified, and then the required number of hours are added. So here if I specify n is equal to, let's say, 2 hours, then instead of 1 hour, now we are adding 2 hours. So for example, this particular case, we are within the business hours range, and therefore we are adding 2 to this 1 hour, and therefore we have 03 in the output. And now if we look at this particular timestamp 11th, so 11th is a Saturday, it's a weekend. However, because the shift, it's a night shift, the morning of Saturday would be working hours. So this timestamp, which is essentially a night time of Saturday morning, there the one is still within the business hours, even though it's a weekend, and therefore only 3 is added, or only 2 hours are added to 1, therefore we get 3, and the date stays the same as 11. Now when we move to 12, which is a Sunday, the right here, the hour 01 is not within the working business hours because it's a weekend. So first thing what happens is that time is moved forward to next business day where the businesses start. So it starts at 2200 hours on Monday. So Monday in this case, so we are looking at the 12th. So if we go back to 12th, now if we move forward, we are looking at 13th. So 13th is the Monday, and so the clock is moved to 2200 hours on the 13th, which is just 2 hours away from midnight, right? So when we add 2 hours to the 22, then we go to 24, and therefore the date no longer remains 13th, it becomes midnight of 14th, and therefore we have the day changed to 14th, and the time becomes 00, and that applies to all of these. So even for 21st, right here, this is a Tuesday. However, the Tuesday is 00 hours because sorry, this is 00 hours because the preceding day 21, right, as we see here, is from Monday, and the working hours for that Monday start at 2200 hours at night, and therefore the clock is first moved to 2200 hours at night, and then when we add 2, it becomes midnight and the day changes, and therefore we get 21 as the day, and the hours become 00 for midnight. That was it for this video. I hope I did not confuse you. If you find it confusing, I'd suggest going back through the video and looking at each step carefully and really trying to understand how each of these works. I'm sure by some practice you'll get hang of it, and to modify the time using BusinessHour or CustomBusinessHour, etc. We'll continue this discussion in next video. We'll look at additional concepts of business hours and offsets and month begin. Until then, please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.